Okie dokie. You know how we start this whole thing. Roll call.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody, to episode 49 of our Mole Master campaign. Elemental Evils, The Odd Jobs, Part 8 of Eye of the Tempest, which is, I can now confirm, is our longest module. It has been our longest adventure, and boy, it's been a doozy. When we last left our favorite adventuring party from Mole Master, they had a hell of a fight on top of the Tower of Winds. After successfully halting whatever foul ritual was happening in the very midst of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, the party was successful in defeating the elemental anchors. However, the Bloodwind, Rolo, the Bloodwind Rolo was able to use their last remaining third level spell slot to fly down towards the town of Tomrov, one of the few establishments anywhere near the Monastery of the Yellow Rose. As the party began to collect Yavendel from her imprisonment, Jasper pocketed a strange electrically charged rod, freeing Yavendel from her small electrified cage. As the party reclaimed Yavendel, the Tower of Winds began to sway, the power of the ritual having been blasted into the sky by a enlarged and empowered Aquila. Began to sway. The tower began to sway from side to side, with the party using various means to try to escape the tower, with only Freddy being the one caught in the rubble as the tower collapsed. However, luckily Freddy took the least amount of damage during our combat beforehand, and was able to survive the collapse of the tower. The party rescuing Freddy from beneath the rubble, discovering hundreds of gold coins that the cult had found or claimed at some point in their own adventures, and the party reclaimed a fair bit of gold. Yavendel, in no shape to attempt to trek through either the glacier or the Urspur Mountains to the south, required medical attention. So the party began heading back into the monastery, where they met the Grand Master of Flowers, Grandmaster Periwinkle, a large Goliath, with a number of strange blood-red scarring and tattoos that seem almost like bits of twine that scale up the arms, going up across the shoulders and crowning the top of the head. The Grandmaster of Flowers, happy to see Rornak, took Yavendel from the party and delivered her to the Medica, where she could begin to receive treatment from the monks of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose and begin making a recovery from what had happened in her last ordeal. The party was then sent throughout the monastery for various purposes. One, to talk to Lady Tace Blue Shield, to begin searching for Mother Sinella, a member of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, who seems to be in league with the cult of Howling Hatred, seemingly responsible for another one of the monks' untimely fall down some stairs. This being, I believe, that would be... Where'd it go? There's so many freaking monks in here. I believe that's Mother Alethra? Mother Sinella, Mother Talia, Mother Alethra. I will get to it. I'll get to it later. Anyways, as the party met various members of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, Jasper received a strange serpentine owl as a gift from the various collections of arts and other possessions within the monastery. Jove researched some of the Days of Thunder, learning about the large-scale conflict between dragons and giants when the Forgotten Realms was still young, before the small creatures had created their own kingdoms. Dragons and giants ruled the world. Learning of a large dragon graveyard, the basis of the Dragonspire Mountains, north of Flan, could be a potential place to find answers about Aquila and Jove's connection. Freddie spent some time at the guest house, entertaining a rather drunk and paranoid halfling woman who spilled her guts literally out onto the bar floor before putting himself to sleep with the last remaining spell slots. Finally, was Rornak, who met the Grand Master of Flowers down in the crypts below the monastery. There, the Grand Master, with assistance from Sister Talia, opened up a large stone crypt, sealed from the rest, known only as Rornak's Crypt. There, Rornak saw dozens of what appeared to be his own body, but not fresh, new ones, some hundreds of years old. When you turn back, as the Grand Master has just explained to you, Rornak, that this is your crypt, nearly 1,000 years old. We'll turn back to that moment. It is a long, stone-carved crypt, multiple levels, some stretching far back to the point where the bodies themselves are only bones. Looking at these kind of rows of bodies, Rornak, you can see that there are alterations to the form. Some appear to have wounds or past wounds implying heavy blunt force trauma. Others seem to have elongated limbs in some places. As you look closer towards the fresher bodies, you notice that the last 10 or so all seem to have a stone mask near them that are still affixed to their bodies. The Grey Master waits in silence, letting you kind of take in this moment, this strange sense of
How many Rornaks have you known?
Me? You are the only Rornak I have truly known. But things wearing your face. I have met 3. Rornak, it is time for you to know of your long history with the Monastery of the Yellow Rose. Our histories are long, well maintained. Nearly 1,000 years ago, when the monastery was much smaller, the first, and he kind of looks at the rest of the bodies, the first Rornak was found in the monastery. Our records show that this Rornak was little more than a bundle of nerves, could hardly walk or fend for themselves, much less eat or communicate. The histories say that the monastery took care, but on the 10th year of your care, you interned here. Not long after, another appeared, this one much the same. And thus this cycle continued, this Rornak appearing, then dying. But as time moved forward, so did the Rornaks. They became stronger, more put together. It is about here, and you see a more fresh body than the bones of the beginning. It is here where you became what only those oldest of the monastery would know. You became known as the Unmerciful Death. you would appear once every 10 years, seemingly searching for something, striking out at any who would come by you. At first, it was easy enough to restrain, but as the years went by, you came back stronger, different. The body changed, and you can now see this kind of correlation of the bodies having longer limbs. Some seem thicker, more muscled, while others seem lighter but taller. Alterations to the physique. This went on until you were one of the greatest threats to the monastery, till only the Grand Master could have a hope of putting you down. It became a curse, where the Grand Master would have to come once every 10 years and defend the monastery from you. The first time we met, I was only 20. And it points to O'Rourke, only 3 from the most recent. Your former had defeated, and I watched my master fall before you. I was angry, untempered, and you nearly killed me. So I too now bear the curse of the unmerciful death. The next time we fought, I was wiser. You started displaying abilities. Long were the days of a feral animal, now was a trained fighter. All those years fighting against the monastery and being a part of it had shaped you. And when we fought the second time, I subdued you. But not before you left me with these. And you see he pulls part of what you thought were red twine tattoos, were actually red twine wax sealed over his hands. And as he pulls them out, you see the similar red markings of your hands of healing. Except they are dark, necrotic looking, almost blackened. It took a lot, but I was able to subdue you. And for the next 10 years, I learned your ways. Uncovered the way of the unmercy. How to give and take. But when we fought, there was no soul in you, Rourke. No fighting spirit. You were like a puppet. Hard on the outside, hollow within. So, when we finally met, the last time, I put as much of my energy inside you as I could. It cost me a great deal of vitality. But if you remember your first moments of lying down, face down in the snow, that is when your life began. You, as Rourke, was here, under the watch of Ilmater, that you have begun your path towards a merciful death. He takes kind of a deep breath in, lets it out slowly, starts to kind of peel back the wax and kind of twine back over his hands and forearms. know that you, Rornak, as you are now, I do not hold any ill will in my heart. You have been perhaps my greatest teacher.
So he kind of looks to you, head bowed slightly. Unconsciously kind of touches the scars through his body. There's silence between the two of you.
So, you're saying I was a puppet before this? Soulless husks until the last one here?
Yes. You were like someone's tool. Sent out to only suffer, harm. Had you found any other place, they would likely not have the forgiveness inside them. But that is not our way. I'm sorry, Rornak. I did not want you to have to deal with the sins of your own body. I wanted you to have every opportunity, a fresh start. I wanted to give you the same grace Amata gives me. But I am sorry for my deception. But now you know the truth.
Thank you. There's a lot to take in. But if not for you, Grandmaster, I probably never would have broken out of all of this. So, thank you. And if I'm honest, I hope I'm the last Rornak that ever goes through these halls.
Rornak, you have spent 5 years in the monastery. And you have been gone for the better part of 1 more year. Make sure that you use your time wisely. On your 10th year, I do not know if you will continue to take your next breath, or if it will be the end. You are unique even unto yourself. And I am hoping Omada will bless you with the life that has been stolen from you. But we both know all things must die. and with your sword returned to you, I doubt there will be another Rornak once your time has passed. You are the first and the last of this Rornak.
It sounds like I'm the first and last decent thing to come out of Ronak. What even is Ronak at this point? So many. Found even other husks like me that my party took down. Similar, but just no face.
Rornak is a good student, an excellent herbalist, a warrior, and you are a good friend. The past does not define who we are in the present. Are you happy with the life that you have built, Rornak?
I had found comfort in it, but this... This is starting to be a bit much, Grandmaster.
I cannot pretend to understand. I've been given this one life. But I have given it in service of Ilmater. And I am happy to see you here. To watch you grow. To take this curse and make it a gift. And I hope that you use the gifts given to you for something greater than yourself. But know that should you ever stumble, should you ever lose your way, you may always return home. And know that Ilmater and myself love you, Rornak. And he kind of gets down and brings you in. This massive Goliath feature. Every part of him hard, almost stone-like. The features cut as if from the very mountain itself. But the embrace is warm, soft. As he breaks the embrace, looks down to you. Rornak, what will you do next? I know this day has been taxing, but I believe there's still more for you to do.
I have much to think on. I can truly say wherever I go next is where my party goes. I will. I will keep my honor on that. And I told each of them that I owed them, and I owed them a hunt. One from who even knows. I'd say a past life. Maybe it was a life before any of the Rornaks. Either way, I'll see that one through. And after that, I don't know. Might be nice to. Might be nice to be my own master for a little bit. With what time I have at that point.
Well, then perhaps it is time for you to join your companions. Should you wish to spend time here amongst yourself. Just to tell you, he says in kind of a louder voice, there are no more locked doors for Rornak. She kind of looks to you and her brow still scowls, furrows in, frowns very. If a frown could have an audibleness to it, this would be it, but she nods to the Grand Master and steps aside. Should you have further questions, I will do what I can. My quarters are the same as they've always been.
Thank you, Grandmaster. I'll be sure to check in with you before we leave. And thank you for showing me this place. If it's okay, I will take a moment here.
Of course. Of course. And he lays a big hand on her shoulder as he passes by and gives you just kind of a squeeze of affirmation before exiting, and you are left with yourself and all of your other selves in your crypt.
I'm curious too, with the most recent Rornaks, I know you mentioned the masks on them. Is there anything that stands out about those masks?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can do. It's for a 10.
A 10? Looking at them, you can definitely see that the first ones are far more crude. They get nicer and more refined as they move on. But with the 10, nothing sticks out. You can't help but to feel off-put. These, unlike the rest of the Rornaks or the stone monks that you have come across, these ones have your face. And especially the more recent ones are spitting images of you. No alterations, no elongated joints, bigger physiques. If anything, they just look like perfectly aged, prime physique. You.
I don't know if there is. I don't know the exact layout in the crypt, but Rornak, kind of after looking through and contemplating on the other selves, uh, he would grab his spear that he has with the red twine fashioned on it as a symbol of Ilmater, and I think he would try to prop it up or position it in a prominent way, and put it on display here in the crypt.
You see that right above the doorway is kind of like a ledged area, and you, with a quick kind of jump, get up and you put the spear resting right at the top as you enter in, signifying this is yours. The red twine comes undone just enough to kind of drape over the side. Kind of moves and finds kind of this crevice and clicks right into place. A singular red twine spear marking the entrance to Rornak's crypt. Rornak, what would you like to do now?
Oh man. Um, I mean, at this point, Rornak is taking in a whole lot, so he'll probably head back out of the crypts, and I think he will either. I mean, I guess it depends on the time of day. He's either gonna go just rest at this point, or might actually go and try to find the party. Although we didn't really say where we're all gonna meet.
Go ahead. Roll me a flat d20.
Okay. 19.
19. Okie dokie. As you begin heading back into the monastery, you and the Grandmaster have spent some time. It's gotten later in the day now. Through the windows looking out to the glacier, you can see the rapidly descending darkness. While you are much higher up and the storm has abated, it's not like Mulemaster, where there's always lights on, even in the darkness, like this blazing furnace near the Moonsea. Here it is cold, tranquil, and dark. As you begin heading back into the monastery, Jasper, would you also roll me a d20?
I thought you'd never ask. 5.
5, gotcha. Jasper, you had just finished. It's taken you quite some time to work your way around the monastery. This place is a labyrinth. However, with some assistance from the monks, you are pointed in the direction of the guest house, out towards the main doors. Jove, my question for you is, as you finish your research, a nice bit of maps of kind of like Flan and the Dragonspire Mountains, river, Stojanau, kind of that areas, and some halfling notes on the days of thunder, just some of the big moments of what's left from that kind of history. Where do you head off from?
Well, he had told that lady that I'm forgetting her name off the
Taste
top of my
Blue
head.
Shield.
Taste Blue Shield.
Yes.
He told Chase that he was going to be in the library, and so if she doesn't come and find him, he'll make his way back to the a guest house, because that would probably be the second best place to go.
Roll me a d20.
I got a 10.
A 10. As you are making your way back to the guest house, you do indeed run into Lady Taste Blue Shield. Oh, hey there, strapping halfling.
Well, I've never been stood up by a beautiful dwarf before.
Not stood up. Simply a momentary pause. Somebody had to keep an eye over your friend in the Medica. Grandmaster had something he needed to talk to Rornak about down the crypts. But he's returned, which means I now have the evening free.
How's Yavendale doing? I'm not to be a bummer, but she means a lot to me. She's a good mentor of mine.
Ah, like me and Rornak. Your gnomish friend, Yavendell?
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty worn out. Looks like she probably hasn't eaten or slept in quite some time. Right now, I think the best thing for her is to sleep this one off, gather herself. She's not going to be going anywhere for quite some time, but give her a 10-day up here, and I'm sure she'll be back up on her feet doing whatever it is you Emerald Enclave people do.
Well, in that case, Lady Tace, I've traveled to many lands, but I haven't been up to a monastery, much less one this high up in the mountains. So, what is it that you folk do for fun up here?
Have you ever had blueberry wine?
No, but Rornak mentioned it once or twice. Said it was the ambrosia of the gods or something like that.
The ambrosia of a god. I'm sure you can figure out which one.
Yeah, I'm picking up a theme here.
Follow
Sorry, I don't mean no disrespect.
None taken. And she grabs your hands, and you're used to kind of the mole master like hand, Jove. It comes in two shapes, either so dainty, lily soft that it's clearly a noble, minus Jasper, of course, or it is the rough, kind of heavy, blistered hand of the common people of Mole Master. This, however, is strong, firm, solid grip. She kind of immediately weaves her fingers underneath yours and begins leading you through the monastery back to kind of the kind of training area that you originally found her in, into that kind of small area. And you see it's a kind of like a small apartment, tons of different weapons of all sorts of makes and marks, from like classic dwarven like hammers and pickaxes to longer staffs and spears, long swords, short swords, just about every weapon you could think of in different makes and models. Just kind of a Spartan-esque looking bed. This looks more like a military barrack than it does somebody's apartment. However, it is warmer in here than the rest of the monastery. A small kind of chimney and fire going in a corner spot. And she goes back to kind of this back wall, and you can see stacked in nice, orderly, neat file are a number of glass bottles with a very dark blueberry liquid inside. She gets inside, takes off her kind of outer robes. You can see just like these massive, muscled shoulders, arms. Every bit of this woman is just chiseled. Less so like in Rornak's way, very much in the stereotypical dwarf. Just you kind of look at it, Jove, and Jove, what's your strength score at?
I'm at a 16.
Interesting. You look at her, and there's a little part of you that think that she might have bigger arms than you do.
Jove is gonna slip into Dwarvish and say, "So, you're the one that taught Rornek how to at least put up some semblance of a fight out in the wilderness there?"
And her head kind of turns sharply with this kind of big dwarven smile. And you know, Dwarvish, it's been forever since I heard anybody in my tongue talk.
I know all the fun words too.
And this kind of bigger, wider smile kind of pulls across. I'm sure you could tell me a story or two to tickle my fancy. She kind of reaches over and grabs some glasses of some blueberry wine and pours it and kind of pulls a chair really close to yours. And yeah, I taught Rornak just about everything he knows. At least worth knowing. And slides one of the glass over to you, Jove. Immediately you can smell this super fruity blueberry. Just immediately, just
Doesn't seem like you taught Rornak how to enjoy fine spirits, because he's got something of a reputation down in Mulmaster. He's even got a fun little nickname. Take a nice swig of the blueberry wine.
Go ahead and roll my Constitution saving throw. With advantage.
Yes. That's going to be a dirty 20.
Jove, you've had a lot of spirits in your time. This is incredible. It's blueberry, but it's got like a nice warmness to it. It's sweet, but not overpowering. This is probably one of the most balanced drinks you've ever had, and immediately as it hits your system, you feel that kind of halfling flush when you get the good alcohol.
It looks like Rornak wasn't telling stories about this. This truly is divine.
What happens when you have over 1,000 years to perfect a single drink? You would think you'd get tired of it, but I certainly don't. Maybe that's the dwarf in me.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, am I right?
You're so right. She kind of takes a really long swig of her drink. But enough about Rornak. She kind of leans in really close. Let's talk more about you.
Go ahead, shoot. I'm an open book.
Anybody important in your life, Jove, or you just like taking up random invitations from beautiful dwarven women?
Well, there's plenty of important people in my life, but if you're asking about a single important person, one might say I'm free to mingle as I see fit.
Well then, Jove. Trying to mingle? She leans in very close.
And he'll close that last 10% and embrace her.
Excellent. Jove, we'll fade to black there and say you spend the night with Lady Tace, Blue Shield. Roll me one Constitution saving throw and a performance check. And an athletics check.
All right, so first is Constitution.
Yep.
That is going to be a 15.
15. You and Lady Tace jump through 2 bottles of this blueberry wine. No sweat.
Next,
At
you
one
said
point-
performance?
Yep, next is performance.
Ooh. He's a little rusty. That's a 4.
Unsurprising, it's been some time. And then give me an athletics check.
All right. There we go. That's a 14.
A 14. It's probably about 3 hours later, Jove, you finally get to bed. Curled up right next to Lady Tace Blue Shields. I'll say with your performance of 4, you're definitely the one cuddled up to her. She,
Hey, but nothing.
Go for it.
I was going to say her last name's the only blue thing in the room, and that's what really matters.
Okay, +1. Take your +1. On that note, as Jove Job once again finds that what the missing link between dwarves and halflings. We'll switch back over to Rornak and Jasper. Jasper, you had the shortest amount of things to do here, but it took you the longest time to navigate the monastery. At one point, you almost get irritated and put your feet on the walls, walk out through one of the windows, and go, ah, shit. I'm on the east side of this bad boy. Looking out towards the glacier. Get back in. It takes a while with that 5.
I'm
But-
basically Zoro from One Piece.
Yeah, can't find your way out of a paper bag. Worst navigator on the face of the earth. Unsurprising. But eventually, after probably about 2 hours of just not finding any headway, you just keep finding your way back to this big dome. It's a terrible one. You eventually just begin asking around for Rornak, and it's not long, Rornak, as you kind of leave the crypts, one of the monks runs over and informs you that some woman in a mask is asking about you, and you make your way to the dome and meet up with Jasper, the two of you, and Rornak, you begin leading Jasper to the guest house.
Good to see that you're well. I hope you made it around okay. I take it.
You can tell that I haven't. Thank you. This place is so great. I'm so happy we're here right now.
It's
And that you are leading me back to where I need to be, because wow, my legs hurt from walking from end to end of this place.
and not to mention days and days being out in the cold up to this point. So at least we
Yeah.
have something above our heads this time around.
Like, and as we were leaving Master, I didn't think to myself, I'm gonna be ready to go back to maybe being imprisoned for life or killed for what we did over the snow. I'm sorry, that's disrespectful, but I hate it.
It's an accustomed thing, I can certainly tell you that. It's meant to break down the body a bit, but you build yourself back up with it over time. First few nights out in the cold, oh boy. And I told you all, this place is a city, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
Certainly not
that's
Mulemaster scale, but
right. I wasn't really sure what to expect, like when other people say city, but you weren't joking.
no. Do you have anything going on for you the rest of the night, or are you out at this point?
No, literally just this, apparently. How about you? Where have you been?
I've this whole trek out here into the glacier just is one big revelation after the next.
What's the newest?
Well, you remember Vonquo, right? And the whole thing with what seemed to be other Rornaks, right?
Yeah. That sticks out in the old memory, yeah.
Well, well, maybe I should hold off on some of this until we get to the actual guest room. I don't know how much of this is public knowledge.
That's fair.
And I'll
So we
say
do
that
that.
yes, I would say Rornak just guides her back there.
You lead Jasper back. Jasper, you swear to God Rornak is leading you down the same exact path you went through earlier today.
No, Rory, this is the wrong way. I've already done this one. This is the wrong one. For sure. For sure, this is wrong.
No, I swear, I assure you, all the bricks just look very old.
Alright, but when you're wrong, you're gonna
Nope.
owe me dinner.
Nope. I remember. I do remember this. This is that handprint stain from the when we spilled the blueberry a few years back, and he's just like pointing out all these weird odds and ends little bits.
And Jasper, you just continue not to believe him until he's pointing stuff out, and then finally goes, and then here's the front door.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I literally just didn't look that way.
That's on
Great.
brand.
With this mask, I can't see to my side, so if I don't look that way, I don't see it.
Like a horse blinder, I can only go one
Yeah.
direction at a time.
You know, you're far from any prying eyes out in Mole Master. You could take off the mask if you really wanted to.
No. Thank you, though. That's very thoughtful, but that makes me uncomfortable. When I'm on the job, I'm Jasper. I'm the adventurer. Like, mask off. I don't know. It just helps me keep everything straight if I do it this way. Otherwise, wires get crossed, and like, you've already witnessed that a little bit, and it's messy. I know that's not fun for anyone, so this is good. I'm good. Thanks.
Of course. I mean, no offense. It is your code and your creed, and besides that gives us our purpose and identity. And we should really talk right now, Jasper. Let's go in.
You enter in to the guest house. You pass by doorkeeper Hearn, who... Rornak?
Yes? The Ronak here. I'm with a friend, helping them back.
Oh, mother, damn it, another one at the door. What is the point of having a doorkeeper if everybody can go around the door? First, because Rornak can go through the door, and then everyone else.
Father Hearn.
What? He seems fun at parties.
Listen, you're already in. Just... Could you please use the front door?
Well, it was kind of an emergency this time, Father Hearn, so forgive me.
It's always an emergency with you, Rornak.
Also, these doors are kind of really hard to find, so, we're gonna use this one.
The front doors have been here for over 1,000 years. They haven't moved.
My friend here wanted a more scenic route, so I thought I'd take her around the monastery. Don't mind us.
Oh, too late for that. Kind of leans back into
I'm sorry,
the corner.
what'd you say?
I said too late for that. What about it?
Oh my God, not now. Please, Jasper, let's keep going. Father Hearn, we really appreciate it. We'll remember the doors next time. Yes.
First time comes back
I
in
like
a
that
year,
guy.
doesn't use the door, and got an attitude. They're all sad. Keep to yourself. Kind of grumbles and gets back into the kind of corner, bundles up, and you see kind of, he's not smoking, but it's like his breath has gotten hotter. Just,
Yeah, he's our resident bundle of joy. Keep going. Let's not entertain him.
Rornak, you would know that there have been talks for many years about replacing him, but he's just actually so good at it, and no one has any heart to tell him that it's probably time to retire.
I have literally written my notes on him, kind of a bastard.
Everyone's
Yes.
just quietly agreed that he's gonna die soonish, so it's like not a huge deal.
Kind of like they're already excavating a corner of that wall to just put his body there and entomb him by the door.
So it's like, whatever, just let him have it.
He is the monastery's equivalent of get off my damn lawn.
It
Right.
helps him feel like he's doing something right now in his old age. Just let
Keeps
him
him busy,
Exactly.
As you open the door into the guest house, you can see It is later now. There's a passed out halfling by the bar. Just poof. You can see Brother Zern is just on top of the bar, hands and knees, like scrubbing into it. You can see there is a kind of a moon elf sprawled over a bunch of books and is writing notes and doesn't even look up when you guys enter in. Brother Zern kind of turns his head. Oh, Rornak. Forgive the mess.
Nothing to forgive here. It's been a long day, and I'm sure me and all of my friends are grateful just to have somewhere to be. Right, Jasper, as he elbows her just a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're looking for your bard friend, he's already upstairs asleep. Took a glass of blueberry wine and called it a night.
Well, can't blame him. We've all had a bit of a rough one, and he took a rough route getting here, especially, so...
Rornak, with your passive perception, you can clearly hear the sound of the lap snore up towards the male side of the dormitories. Sounds exactly like Jasper's, except maybe more of a tenor than an alto.
Yep, that's Freddy, all right. Appreciate you helping out my friend and getting him in where he needed to be.
You weren't the problem tonight. Adisha here, and looks over to the passed out halfling, lips almost stained blue from the blueberry wine. That's who's been the problem today. But
Oh?
you'd been stuck up here for so while with that storm. Nothing to do all day except spend coin and drink blueberry wine. You know what they say about overindulgence?
I don't actually know what they say. I'm very sorry.
He kind of looks to you. I think that's Rich coming from the throw-up himself. Jasper. Even with your passive, the throw-up is a new title for Rornak.
Yeah, hey, that's a really good name.
Ah, thank you for asking. It's because Rornak here, the first year that he spent, couldn't keep any sort of alcohol down at all. We've cleaned up more of his throw-up than just about any other monk here. Until Adisha came along, I'd never had to get down on hands and knees like this for throw-up. So, as the years went by, it's not just because he's incredibly agile, also because, well, kind of gestures to the bar. Ergo, the throw-up.
Yeah, you know, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I dig that.
I like the vomit comment.
Oh,
That's a
yes,
good one too.
Yes, all great.
Eh,
all
Rhyming's
beautiful.
overrated.
You know, I feel like there's just not enough rhyming when it comes to a modder. Not really a fanciful god on that one.
Oh, no?
No. When your whole godhood is about taking in suffering of others, doesn't lead for a lot of flowery language. I know, shocking, considering with the monastery of the Yellow Rose. The joke is not lost on me.
I mean, you're not the most taciturn monks I've ever heard of.
Oh, well. I'm a monk that only brews stuff. Speaking of which, Rornak, it's been some time. Blueberry wine for you and your companion.
Only if you're not afraid of me throwing it up on everybody.
Kind of slides over this bucket. At least you got a place to aim.
It has been too long since I've had a real good cup of this. Thank you.
And pours, as described earlier, that super blueberry wine. Jasper, as soon as it's uncorked, you feel that kind of tingle in the tip of your nose. That mole master snobbiness comes out. And you go to judge it. On smell alone? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This might be some quality liquor in front of you. Have you both roll Constitution saving throws?
Oh shit. 5.
Rornak?
That is a 15.
A 15. Warnak, you're home.
Finally.
Sits in, settles just right. Jasper, as soon as this hits your system, it's not that it's bad. You immediately feel this sleepiness run over you. That, like, super tannin-induced, like, wine drunk that's, like, flush right in the face. You feel this hit you like a sack of bricks. The taste is incredible, but you immediately feel your head start. Like, you down it with Rornak, you know, drinking like you are in Mole Master, and immediately that higher ABV strikes your system.
Hey, you know, it's been a long day. I don't think I can drink anymore. That's really good though. Really potent.
Sure can't get you a second one? Kind of the rule of thumb here. Always do.
That's the rule, huh?
I thought we
That's-
just spoke about
boy, that's-
overindulgence.
That's bad luck. Fuck it. Win and plan, right? You know the saying.
It kind of gives you a puzzled look. What's flan? As he kind of pours you both another glass. Go ahead and make me
I think
another
it's
roll
a
of
dessert or
Constitution.
something.
Constitution saving throw. Jasper with disadvantage.
Okay. That's an 11.
An 11. Yeah, you're hammered. You're just straight up hammered. Ronak.
This is another Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 14.
A 14. Just as good as the first one. You do feel this wave of tiredness come over you after the second one, though. You look over to Jasper and...
She's like falling asleep on her feet right now.
Jasper, what do you say we get you to bed? I think I'm just about done here too.
Yep. That show me the way, please.
Yep. We've done what they've done in Flan, or whatever you said. I think we're good now.
Yeah. Please tell me that the rooms are close and it's not like another labyrinth before I can lay down.
At the state you're in, I can't give you any promises.
Yeah.
It's okay. Put your arm around me. I'll try to help you out.
You do.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm also doing this with 3 levels of exhaustion, so this is gonna look rough.
Both of you guys roll me athletics checks right now. Both with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Hey,
I would have to.
disadvantage, huh?
It's an 11.
It is a 19.
19. Yeah. The first couple steps are all you, Rornak, but once Jasper starts moving, those boots just start sticking and goop, 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 goop. By the end of it, it's more Jasper pulling you up, Rornak, as she, like a dog on a leash, just strains against you. But you're able to help guide Jasper into bed. Jasper, as soon as you hit the bed, out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rornak, you kind of make your way over. You see Freddy, who is like somebody has modeled him for sleep. got the loot, mended to the side, all of his stuff set nicely. He's got like the hands folded over, like perfect sleep, and then just mouth open. As you kind of get to the bunk on top of his and pull yourself up, you feel this kind of swimming sensation before you feel sleep overtake you. Party, as you are asleep, for Rornak and for Freddy, or for Rornak and for Jasper, it is a heavy, deep sleep. For Jove, it is a fully exhausted, in every way, shape, and form you can imagine for physicalness. It is a heavy sleep, curled up next to Lady Taste Blue Shield. Freddy, in your magically induced sleep, the dreams come. You feel the cold wind of the glacier over you. You watch over the glacier, and you see a writhing beneath the snow. As you see hundreds of remorazes, almost dragon-like in their insectoid serpentine forms, squirming underneath the glacier of the White Worm. You feel yourself descend. Your fingers extend, hanging you lower and lower as the remorazes break the ice. You can see, like Hercules fighting the Hydra, their maws open wide, heat pulling up at you. You feel yourself falling closer and closer just by the very briefest points of their maws, before you feel cold hands wrap around your center and pull you up. You hear, "Be careful, Freddy. Fire comes in many forms." Freddy, since you put yourself to sleep magically, as you feel yourself get pulled from this fire, you awake, and you immediately begin coughing, loud, heavily. You feel like the whole room is 40 degrees too hot. You blink back sleep, and the entire guest house is filled with smoke. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna start running for the exit, and while I do, I'm gonna take out the horn of calling thing.
Ah. All
And,
right.
yeah, I'll blow on it and have it call Jasper.
Jasper, the sleep you have is heavy and dark. However, you are immediately blasted into consciousness. It sounds like someone has just blown a conch shell right next to your ear, just this brrrr, and you wake up with a start and immediately begin coughing as the entire guest house is filled with smoke. The heat is immense in here. You can hear the crackling sounds of fire. And as you sit up awake and get onto your feet, you immediately begin to stumble. It's like it's more than just being hammered still. You are currently poisoned.
Fuck.
However, Rornak, you still stay asleep. As you hit the floor, you look over and there you see your brother on the kind of opposite side on this second floor, the horn purchased from the brothers in his mouth. As he pulls it away, the ringing stops.
What the fuck's happening?
I'm looking for the exit.
Do I see Rory or is he in a different room?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
You know I hate those.
Yeah. With disadvantage.
Oh, come on. Fuck. 8.
8.
Or catchphrase, I guess.
Catchphrase it would
Well,
be.
actually, passive is reduced by 5 since you have disadvantage.
So 8.
Great.
8. You can, it's less, you can see your brother, because for you can hear the point of noise from where the horn's being blown, and it helps you lock in his location. But looking past him, it is all smoke. You don't see Rornak anywhere to be seen right now.
Well, then I start looking for an exit.
Go ahead and roll me investigation with disadvantage.
That's a 16.
A 16. Looking around, you see that this is a pretty sparse building. The second floor doesn't really have any sort of windows or anything to it, but you do look down kind of over, and you can see it appears that there is a fire that has been started behind the bar. It is now starting to spread out. You do see the kind of front door on the second floor, which you entered in. There are a few number of windows on the bottom floor, but the second floor is all kind of sealed off, just stone basic building.
Hey, Freddy, this fire was set on purpose, and I think Rory and I were poisoned. Do you know where he is?
And Freddy, you can hear just like this huge slur. Right, I feel positive to where Bronek at.
Great. And he's gonna, I'm assuming that I can also tell that the windows are down there and there's nothing really up top.
You are currently not poisoned. The smoke is making it hard to see, but with your faculties still functioning, you kind of see where Jasper's pointing towards that. You know there aren't any windows up here. Your immediate thought turns to, where the fuck is Rornak?
No, my thoughts are still on get the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
Did I get a long rest in?
No.
No. Okay. Then I can't do what I was gonna do. Then yeah, I guess I'm just gonna look for some stairs.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Roll me a perception check. Not at disadvantage, because you're not poisoned.
20.
20. Yeah. You get out of bed and start looking around. You see the set of stairs leading down, and with the 20, I will say, when you stand up and begin, you've already been standing, but as you're kind of looking around, you do see Rornak still sleeping form on the top bunk of yours.
Wait, say that one more time.
You, with the 20 in perception, you see the stairs leading down, and you see Rornak still asleep on the bunk above yours. They're set up basically bunk beds, set up hostel style.
Didn't even know I went into the same room as me.
Indeed.
Okay.
There's two sets, one for the women's side of the guest house and one for the male side of the guest house. And Rornak is asleep on the bunk above yours.
Yeah, I guess I will. Cast a vicious mockery at him.
Rornak, you're currently
Kill him.
unconscious. That's an immediate failure.
All right.
Go ahead and roll
Course I don't
damage.
use damage. 6.
6.
Oh
Ronak.
my god.
You
On
go.
2d4, I roll 6.
You immediately, if you're still if you still have hit points, with the biggest throbbing headache you have ever woken up to, you wake up more than hungover. You are also poisoned.
And can't help but feel that you've just been called a punk bitch by someone.
I mean, not wrong.
You
Also, he
you're
probably
like
expects it being back in the monastery. He's just used to that.
you wake up into like the smoke, the coughing, the sound of somebody yelling at you, and like for a minute you remember back to your early days at the monastery, just getting pummeled down by Lady Tace, and you immediately get out of bed. Boom, boom. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
It's funny I've been poisoned, but I'm already at 3 levels of exhaustion, so it's like, how much more dead can I be? I guess
That's another
truly
spell
dead.
on you.
You said that was acrobatics, right?
Yes, indeed.
It's a 13.
A 13. You see Rornak, you swing your legs over, hit the ground, and drops down to a knee in the least graceful move you've seen Rornak do since dying from falling damage. And you get up and you immediately feel the world start to sway, Rornak. There's smoke, you're coughing. You see Freddy right in front of you since you guys are in the same dormitory, and it's a moment of just pure panic and disorientation.
I mean, with the rest of my turn after waking him up, I'm gonna use as much movement as I can to go towards the stairs and go down.
Yeah, absolutely. You begin rushing down the stairs. Let's have. We'll start with Freddy, Jasper, Rornak. All of you guys roll me Constitution saving throws.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
11.
It's an 11.
11.
11. The lap siblings pass. Rornak, you take another level of exhaustion.
Oh my goodness.
Freddy, since you were the first to awaken, you head down the stairs. You are running towards the door. You're able to keep the smoke out of your lungs. Jasper, what are you doing in this moment? Since you were the second one awake.
I mean, just like looking for a way out, right?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me. No, you had that good earlier. So you've got two options. You could take the long way and try to go down the stairs, or you could just leap from the second floor down.
How high up is the second floor?
About 15 or so feet up.
Okay.
It's gonna be a drop.
Y'all can handle a small fall, right?
Hello, what?
We can jump out the window if we have to.
I will say, there are no windows on the second floor.
Oh. Apologies.
It's okay. It's a tall building on top of a monastery. Open windows on the second floor just means there's no ability to hold heat in there.
Never mind then. Stairs it is.
Absolutely. How much movement speed you got right now?
All of it, I assume. Does poison reduce it?
How many levels of exhaustion do you have, though?
1.
1? Oh, yeah. You're fine. With your full movement, you start... if you use your action and bonus action to dash, you go ahead and make me a strength saving throw as you hit the door.
12.
12? Poof. You hit the door. Somebody has blocked it from the other side.
Oh my.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Can any of y'all break a door down Ah, fuck it. She pulls out her axe and she just takes a swing at it.
All right, we'll return back to that in just a second. As Rornak, what are you doing in this moment?
Man, Thornak doesn't know of like a way that they could kind of like not like anything like scaffolding or something that they could try and like sneak out of here, right? Like an unorthodox way.
Besides jumping through some of the glass windows on the bottom floor, you know that this is a pretty much just a big stone and wooden box.
Gotcha. Rornak then would he'd probably draw Earzarn and would attempt to help Jasper with breaking down this door.
Absolutely. Let's say if you're on that side, heading on down. What's your movement speed at?
20.
20. You don't have enough movement speed to get there.
Okay.
You watch as Rornak, you begin heading down the stairs. You're about 10 feet behind Freddy. And these stairs are a menace. With the poison and your exhaustion, you're just basically watching Rornak slam side to side down the stairs, trying to hurry down to get towards you. We'll jump back up to Freddy.
I go to a window.
Absolutely.
What's on the outside?
Right now, looking through it, give me a perception check.
Passive 12.
Passive 12. Outside, you don't see anything but kind of the open courtyard. However, with a 12, since they're not trying to be sneaky at this point, you do see what appears to be an older woman and Brother Zern exiting through the main gates, leaving the monastery in a hurry.
Okay. Well, I was just looking to make sure that I could have something to land on the other side, because I'm just gonna jump through the window.
Oh yeah, you're on the first floor. It's just busting through there.
But yeah, I just didn't want it to be like overlooking a cliff and then me just saying I'm gonna jump out and then you'd be like, "Yep, you fell to your death."
Absolutely. No, it is just regular ground underneath. The guest house does not overlook the cliffs. So yes, with your passive perception 12, it is just courtyard in front of there.
Then yeah, I jump through.
All right, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
15.
15. Yeah, you see Freddy hurdles his body, lands. With 15, you only take 1 point of slashing damage on a success. As you're cut up a little bit from the broken glass, but as soon as you break through, there's a rush of smoke as it starts exiting out through that window. The visibility starts to increase inside of here with a place for the smoke to escape. Absolutely. Freddy, you are out of the burning building. We'll switch back over to, we'll say with the to move, use our action to jump through the window. Unless you have a bonus action, we'll call that your turn. All right, we'll switch over to Jasper.
How much did I take?
Just 1 point of slashing damage. Yep, you roll the 15 on that one. You're going to bust through. You pull like a shard of glass out from the shoulder. It's only about maybe a 1/4 inch deep into you. Jasper, go ahead and make an attack on that door.
Apologies. 14?
14 will hit.
Okay. Do I get sneak attack on this door? Does it see me coming?
It doesn't see you coming. Go ahead and roll your sneak
Nice.
attack.
I think you can count the
That's
door
worth
jam as an
everyone.
ally.
9.
Do I have flanking on door?
You,
Start ally on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
You drive your shadow axe and it busts through the door. You knock a couple of the planks off, and you can see that somebody has legitimately barred the door on the other side. You get about halfway through it. It opens part of the door up, but not enough for you to get through.
Alright. Rory, your turn.
Do I have enough speed now to get there?
Oh yeah, now you have enough.
We are coming in swinging. With this being a little wild, let's pray I don't miss. And that is with disadvantage. It's an 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit.
Beautiful. That is... He is two-handing that too. So that's for 8 magical slashing.
Earzarn, you use the jagged edge to try to break apart as much as you can, and you strike down. It splinters through the door, and the pathway is open to you.
Come on, let's keep moving. And if I have any movement speed, he'll use that to go through.
It's less movement speed. We'll jump out of the initiative on this one, and as you lean forward, the poison and the exhaustion take hold, and you land face first forward outside the burning building. Just where you have to go and kind of pull Rornak away. You hear the sound of wood splintering. And ever so slightly, a halfling woman screaming before you can hear a number of things collapsing inside of the inn house. As you watch the kind of rest of this building catch fire, there's a ding, 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 ding. Jove, you were finally awoken to the sounds of bells ringing out all throughout the monastery. It's not long afterwards, as you guys kind of step away from this burning building, you see like a brigade of monks all carrying kind of buckets of snow and water and trying to douse this building so it doesn't catch to any of the other walls. Jove, Lady Tace immediately kind of bolts straight up, still naked, rips them covers up, throws on like a bit of monks, picks up what looks like a pole, like a pole arm, except instead of having blades at the end of it, it is 2 large hammers. She gets it, and without even saying a word, she is on. That monk speed kicks in. She is sprinting.
Yeah, Jove would pop up and grab what he can. Probably wouldn't have time to don his armor, but we'll get his little feet going as fast as he can behind her.
You rush, and she just outpaces you. You are having a hard time following, but once you get to kind of the main part of the monastery, it's easy as you watch this kind of flood of monks in, and they immediately hand you kind of like a bucket of water, Jove. 2 of them, and you pick them up with both hands, and you're running with the rest of the monks to get out. And as you go through the front door, you can see, with your high passive perception, in the corner up against the door with 2 daggers in the chest, you see an elderly man pinned to the wall, no longer moving. As the buckets you brought are immediately grabbed by another monk, and they start splashing kind of the building around it and wetting down some of the other features of the courtyard to stop these flames from spreading. You can see the inside of this stone building is alight with fire, and you can see as you hand off these buckets, Rornak kind of being pulled away by Jasper and Freddy, and you see the rest of your party outside the building.
He'll use thaumaturgy to call out, but if he's in a bucket line, he doesn't want to break that. So he'll call out to them.
Yeah, the rest of you, even with your bad passive perceptions, hear Jove's voice ring out. What do you call out to him?
He just yells out odd jobs.
All of you hear odd jobs, and you see, in this kind of, as these monks start pouring out and brigading, you see Jove, just like a machine handing buckets with these big shoulders. So, Jove, you call out to your party, continue handing these buckets down, down this kind of line. It takes a little bit, but while the guest house is lost, the fire does not spread to the other buildings near it. It takes a while, and there are plenty of monks who are still dousing smaller flames and moving things to the side and checking on different individuals. But after a time, you're able to finally rejoin your party.
Yeah, he'll approach and kind of take stock of his companions and look them up and down and say, "Y'all all right? Oh, what happened in there? Was there some sort of accident or something?"
Someone intentionally set a fire in there and then barred us inside, actually.
Oh God, I saw somebody, a couple of knives in them pinned up. So yeah, it looks like fuck cultists in our midst.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like I'm on death's door, and yeah, that's just what I wanted was this right now.
Well, we don't always get to choose our time and place, but did anybody get an eye or have any ideas of who it might be, or just y'all were sleeping and then woke up to the flames?
Yeah, I didn't get that far. Mostly, I was concerned with the fire that was surrounding me. But now, yeah, that's kind of a good question. Yeah.
Jove, as you're listening to Jasper, she is slurring harder than you've ever seen.
Yeah, she's barely on her feet.
And then he'll look at. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You said that I saw some people leaving, right?
You did. You didn't recognize the woman, but you know for a fact, considering he's the one who served you a drink earlier. You saw Brother Zern and an older woman leaving the monastery in a hurry, as you guys were stuck in this burning building.
95% sure that the brother Zerg had something to do with it.
Emperor Zerg.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that Emperor
That's likely.
Zerg guy. I think so. That sounds right.
Well, y'all look worse for wear. Too much of that blueberry wine, probably, but.
Fuck you, I know my limit. Asshole. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ah,
you know lots of
it's
things,
a
Jasper, and your limits ain't one of them.
Where's your friend Jove? If they were going after us, they might be going after her too.
Oh, I think Lady Taste can take care of herself. You more than anybody should know.
No, not Lady Taste.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Oh, yeah, Avondale. Oh.
You all do notice on that one, even with your bad passive perceptions, Jove is the better part of Nike right now. You see a number of what appears to be hand marks across Jove. Some light welting, maybe some slight bruising.
Yeah, Rornak is like almost face first in the ground, and he chooses not to see right now.
Good for you, Jove. Good for you.
Well, we'll swap stories later. First thing we probably should let oh gosh, the headmaster here or the king monk or whoever know that there's a traitor among their midst. Rornak, where would be the best place to find that?
You're talking about Grandmaster Periwinkle. He knows that there's a traitor. You should check on him too. He's probably in danger.
While
Uh,
you were talking just now, Jasper looked at Freddy and mouthed the word periwinkle. uh, anyway.
Freddy, do you mouth back Berry Pip?
No.
Oh.
Oh, tragic.
Berry Pip, Periwinkle. We're a very serious
Yeah,
campaign.
that was the track I was on. Thank you, Dom.
We're a very serious campaign here.
Very serious.
Very serious.
Well, let's get to it then, Rornak. You look awful. I don't know if there's any other way to tell this. Would you let me carry you?
I feel no, no.
Get
I
on my
can-
back. I'm telling you, Rornak. Just do it.
Jasper, please help me.
Jasper's worse looking than you are, Rornak. Come on.
You're naked. Please give me a
I'm
second.
wearing a special halfling night blouse, okay? Just because it shows the buttocks does not mean that I'm naked.
Night blouse.
Can I roll to try
blouse.
and pick myself up with my own weight?
You certainly may with disadvantage.
Okay. What is that rolling for exactly? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a crit fail.
Absolutely. Rornak goes Jove to you go down to help him up, and he moves your hand out of the way and just slides right on off and just back right down. And so Jove, you pick Rornak up fireman style. Rornak, I'll say with your crit fail, you don't even have the strength to rebel against. However, I'll say with the crit fail and the longness of your body compared to Jorv's shortness, you get a nice old full moon view. You are very intimately aware of Jove, your butt crap might be slightly to the right.
Well, you could bounce quarters off that thing, though, so it's...
That is true. That's a muscle butt right there.
And then Jove would just be telling him to give him directions right or left and be kind of hupping to try and find the Grandmaster.
Rornak, you begin leading Jove through the monastery. Jasper and Freddy, do you guys follow suit with your party?
Yes.
Absolutely. Gotcha. Leading it through. You stop by the Grandmaster of Flowers room first, but it is currently empty. It is a very unremarkable room. Small, square, slightly larger than normal bed to accommodate the Grandmaster. Would be a normal sized room, but all the furniture in it is slightly larger than you would anticipate. So it makes for kind of some cramped spaces, but he's nowhere to be found. So you begin heading towards the only other place you could think of, which is the Medica. And there you do spot the Grandmaster. Currently, on his back, you can see there is a knife placed right into his gut. And you see Yavendel, unharmed, still very much unconscious, next to, oh gosh, now I do need her name. Next to, where's my Medica notes? Should have had this written down. I had all the time in the world. It's not Mother Sanilla. Mother Savan. There it is. Mother Savan and Yavendel do appear to be in the same states they were when you last left.
Jove would hurry to the Grandmaster's side and kind of let Rornak off, so he can see what is happening.
You place Rornak down and go over to the Grandmaster, and Joe, roll me a medicine check.
Ooh. That is a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
You're not sure if he's breathing or not.
We need some help here. Rornak, you got any juice left? Can you do? I'm not sure if
I'm
he's gonna make it.
I I could try, but I'm completely spent. And full disclosure, I am all out of key points right now.
There's a silence that follows. Jove, you kind of look around and there's various vials and herbs and other medical supplies in here. Start kind of racking your brain together, but most of it seems foreign to you. A lot of it seems almost like homeopathic in nature. You could see there's a kind of a ever-growing kind of pool of blood underneath the Grandmaster.
Jasper has a medicine kit. She pulls out and sets it down, and she's like, I'm not very good with this stuff, but I have it. Anyone want to give it a go?
If no one's feeling up to it, I'll give it a shot.
Did I get a short rest at least?
A short rest? You didn't drink
mean-
any poison, so I'll say, Jove, your sleep was not restful. Jasper and Rornak, you're poisoned. But Freddy, since you didn't drink any blueberry wine and cast a sleep spell on yourself, I'll give you the short rest.
I did drink blueberry wine.
Did you now? Roll me Constitution saving throw. Because it was my understanding, and I went back and listened to it. I don't think you tried any blueberry wine.
I drank it in my room.
Okay,
18 con save.
you're fine.
Okay.
So,
is that a
my rolling
yeah,
stays.
short
You have
rest?
gotten a short rest.
Okay.
So, are you guys doing anything with this medicine kit, or are you going to keep letting the Grandmaster bleed out?
Hold on. With a short rest, I would have gotten a bardic inspiration back, so I'll give that to whoever's attempting to do it.
Maury?
Yeah, I will attempt that. So is that a
Okey-dokey.
medicine check then?
That is indeed medicine check. Are you proficient?
I am.
Indeed. Roll with proficiency.
Will do.
And add, I believe it is a D8 now for the bardic inspiration.
Yes.
Excellent.
I am rolling with disadvantage though. Do I get that for both or for only one?
You just roll twice disadvantage. And
Yeah,
then
I
you would
meant
roll
with
the
the
you would roll the
bardic.
D8 and you would roll that once.
Okay, gotcha.
Unless Freddy has something special with the class feature, because I know your bardic inspiration are special.
So I can only use it with one of the bardic or with one of the rolls then.
You would roll it once, and it would add to both of them. You wouldn't roll a bardic inspiration for each of your disadvantage rolled separately.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
And then when you're using it on ability check, my bardic inspiration guy lets you re-roll the bardic inspiration die, and you choose which one to use.
So you're rolling your medicine check with disadvantage, your bardic inspiration with advantage, Okay, excellent.
Okay. Okay. So altogether, that is a 12.
A 12. You are able to stabilize the Grandmaster. It is rough, shoddy work. He is going to need time to recover after this. But you're able to stem the bleeding, and you do see a slight. He's not conscious, but he is stable.
He's in no condition to go anywhere, but he'll live.
You pull the dagger out of him, Rornak, and it is a long stiletto, easily concealable knife with wind-like patterns going across the blade, leaving odd, irregular grooves inside of it. And you can, let's say with your medicine check, you can smell a bit of poison on this. Sharp, acrid. And you, with your time spent with the Grandmaster, you know that luckily poisons are less effective on him than you would anticipate. Something that monks of great renown can achieve.
Indeed.
But you
Do
can
I...
go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, taking a look at the dagger, do I recognize anything about it? Do I recognize, like, have I seen this on somebody, or does it have any sort of, like, symbol on it?
Roll me religion or arcana. Choice is yours.
Gotcha. I will go religion. Gosh dang it, that's a crit fail on the well, that's an ability check, so that still is disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a crit fail.
You're not entirely sure right now. Your head is still swimming, and your hands are currently covered in the blood of your Grandmaster.
Yeah, just mentally not there right now.
You look at it and just kind of throw the knife off to the side. Tink, 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 tink.
Can Jove investigate the scene and try and see if he can put anything together as far as an escape route for the assailant?
Absolutely, go for it.
That is going to be 14.
14.
Can I bring up that I saw who I think the assailant is left again?
Yes, absolutely. Jove, you start looking around, and you do notice a slight blood trail, as if from like a busted, like a bloody nose almost, like droplets leading out of the room, that aren't part of the Grandmasters, leading out of the room. And as you're kind of like peeking your head out, Freddy, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I see you looking. I do know where they went. So if we're done getting this guy back on his feet and that's our next step is to find them, we can just go that way.
Sure, yeah, let's do it. Just govern all of our bases.
And then I'll start directing where I saw them going.
Absolutely.
A
You
boat.
all,
Yeah, I saw a boat. It went this way. Follow me.
you get the Grandmaster stabilized. He's such a massive individual. You think it's best just to leave him as he is stabilized. You shut the door behind you, and begin following one part blood trail, one part Rornek's guide. You exit back out. The monks are still dealing with the bits of fire still burning, just making sure that it doesn't spread. As you kind of walk back out, the rest of you do notice what appears to be doorkeeper Hearn, pinned to the wall, no longer breathing. Instead of a rush of irritating old man gripes is just the ever so silent dripping sound of blood kind of falling off of these blades. Similar to the ones that you found in Grandmaster Hearn, the kind of stiletto style, leading back out into the courtyard past the monks. Jove, with your good passive perception, you can see the little bits of blood ever so slightly trailing out through the front gates and heading down the mountain path.
As we're going out, if there's like still all that commotion, can Jove just like in passing say to some of the people to like get to the Medica to kind of guard the spot?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
So he'll do
and
that kind of in passing just to get some folks over there.
A contingent of monks begin rushing back inside, heading towards the Medica to check in on the Grandmaster and those who are still yet to rouse from their unconscious state. You head outside the gates of the monastery to this kind of gentle sloping path down the mountain, heading south. It is very dark, and while the storm has subsided, it is still very cold. Immediately, Jove, you feel the cold set upon your skin, since you are still in your halfling blouse. So
I don't think.
Go for it.
Look, I'm not sure if we're in the shape to pursue. I'm practically in my skivvies, and Warren can hardly walk, and Jasper's as drunk as I've ever seen her, and Freddie, well, I mean, he's doing pretty all right. So
I agree with Jasper. We just need to let them go then, and I mean, I think you're right. I think being in the shape that we are, actually going after them in this case would just lead to more death, where we could avoid it if we let it go for now.
we saw that well, that one coward fly away from the top of the tower towards somewhere nearby, right? Maybe that's where they're planning to regroup, or
He was going down the path of solitude. There's a nearby town there. Tonvale, I believe is the name, correct?
Tormov.
Tormov. I wrote
Oh,
that
no.
very wrong. Oh no. But yeah, Tormov is a small town nearby. That's where he was headed. Bastards. God damn it. Oh, if I was in any better shape right now, I swear.
no use in all of us getting killed.
Agreed.
So, you head back into the monastery with the direction of your quarry known to you. The monks continue to douse the chapter house. You're turned back inside. You guys do eventually run into Lady Taste Blue Shield.
Every time you say her name, I think you're saying Sploosh Shield.
Sploosh Shield. Well.
Maybe.
Maybe.
My name is Tay. Tay Sploosh Shield.
Hi, I'm Taste Blue Shield. Skadoosh. Who gives you the updates on the monastery. The fire's been contained. They have a number of Order of the Rose monks stationed by the Medica. The Grandmaster has been accounted for. They have discovered a number of other monks who have been silenced during this attack, which is why they're so slow to react. but for the time being, the monastery is seemingly secured. She does ask for any information you guys have on the perpetrators and where they might have absconded to.
It was Zerg and some old broad, and they went that way.
She
That's
kind
all
of
I really know.
mutters a curse that those of you who speak Dwarvish would recognize. Before she begins to go, and with the Grandmaster currently indisposed, begins kind of organizing the monks and securing the monastery. You all are led to a small kind of chamber of rooms. They are all very basic, just bed and a desk. Two beds and two desks to a room. Kind of sequestered into a corner of the monastery. Windows overlooking the glacier, doors with the lock on it. They're not nearly as comfortable or as well maintained as the guest house, but Bornak, for you, this is about just right. So your basic kind of novice monk. You're given the rooms for the remainder of the evening. You're all kind of together, left to your devices as the sounds of many monks moving, discoveries of ill-timed fates, and an activity that is rarely, if seldom, seen inside the monastery. But for the time being, you have the moment to yourselves. What would you guys like to do?
Warnak, help me understand. I just don't. How could this all happen beneath their nose? The building of a tower, the infiltration of their people. Just
I'm afraid that the monastery, for all its good intentions, are, well, let's just say they're quick to forgive and not quick to judge on sorts of things. In my perspective, or at least in my time, I've never known them to really be, certainly not the kind to accuse. And my guess is, I mean, it's just not a daily reality here to be looking for something, for someone to stab you in the back like this. It's just, it's not like living in Mulmaster, to say the least.
leave it to the cults to take advantage of a place that's brimming over with mercy. It's a shame.
It is. It's a shame. It is blasphemous. And god damn it. Grandmaster, forgive me for a little bit if Rornak the Unmercy comes back in the next few days, but I'm just not in any state to go right now.
No, we all fought hard and valiantly today. Hell for the past 10 day. Hell for as long as I know you folks. We will hunt them down, Ronak. There's anybody that can do it. It's all of us.
No doubt.
Well, we should try to get some rest when we can, but if I could make a recommendation, let's talk to, we can trust Lady Tace, I think. See if she can secure us a spot. We can't, as much as I hate it, I'm not too sure who and who not to trust right now, or at least We need to have eyes open where we go right now.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. If you all want to slip into some sleep, I think I might stay up and make sure that there's no other bumps in the night, at least for a little bit.
If that's what you want to do, I really could use some sleep.
Tuck.
Huh?
So,
Yeah, is there like any airflow in here? Because Jove definitely would light up his pipe, but not if it's gonna be like hotboxing the whole room.
uh, Joe, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Con, that's 19.
You gotta hold it in deeper than you would like. It's kind of like when you're not trying to be super obvious. Like there's some airflow in here, and assuredly a window that leads out. Well, certainly cold here. As long as you'll hold it in with your even larger halfling lungs now, you're able to have your pipe smoking in here without making everybody choke on it.
He's got a sploosh, to cover the smell.
It's splooshes earlier.
We have this blue shield.
That's Jove's new last name. Jove's Blue Shield, Featherfoot.
Jove, the throat goat, sploosh shield.
Oh my
Featherfoot.
No, stop.
Wow. +1.
Yes.
Wow, your guys' titles are just getting weirder and weirder.
Mine is normal fantasy shit. I don't know about that
Yep.
one though.
First of his name, yeah.
How is it that it's the bard, a part of the magic guild, like ex-noble, is the one with the least surprising titles? I don't understand this. We're really running away with it.
I
have
don't
poopy
know.
Pants.
I was just gonna
That's-
say.
Poopy Pants, the Shadow Axe, Vomit Comet, the Throat Goat. Jasper has to use a title all the time. It's Jasper. Your name is your title? What? Anyways, Joe, if you sit back and kind of watch the door, listen, there is activity through the whole night. There's not really ever a moment where you're not hearing people running, somebody shouting at one point, tons of activity. The rest of you are able to finish your long rest. Jove, how long do you stay up?
I would say, like a normal night shift, I guess. Like if he was gonna go and wake somebody else up, but if he doesn't feel like he needs to, then he'll just kind of be there for those first couple of hours, especially since he got a little bit of sleep beforehand. So doesn't want to. I want to get a long rest. I guess is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Jove, with your kind of back propped up against one of the beds, eyes towards the door, spear by your side. You do finish your kind of long rest there in your halfling half blouse. The rest of you all finish your long rest. Since we're finishing a long rest, I believe I owe you guys some experience points.
Yes.
Okay.
For those of us it's relevant to, long rests only recover 1 level of exhaustion.
Indeed.
Yep.
For those of you who are relevant to that, and it will take multiple days of rest to recover your full strength. But in the meantime, I'll scroll this bad boy up. So last time you guys took a rest was with the Rimmerazes. So in this adventuring day, you have defeated an air elemental, disposed of 2 traps, which both give their own reward. you have defeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cultists, 8 regular cultists, or Howling Hatred Initiates, as they're actually called, a Balloon Grenadier, a Feathergale Knight, 4 Elemental Anchors, 3 Ice Methods, 3 Dust Methods, 3 Smoke Methods. Survived the burning building, stopped the ritual.
Saved, what's her face?
Saved Avondale. Attuned to the ritual. So, that grants you each 450, 900, 1800, 3600, 4,000. It's 1,000 for that individual. Another 600 for the individuals there. Guys, you each receive individually 6,000 experience points.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Wow.
Let's go.
It was a
Level
huge
up.
adventuring day, and that ritual is gigantic.
Wow, that blasts us into our next
Yeah,
level.
you
for
guys
sure.
individually, not splitting the enemies apart, each received 2,000 experience points, just like on the dot, not split.
Jesus.
Actually, with that one right there. Yeah, the way that bounces at, it's actually 2,800. Just like individually, you don't have to share it. And just the massive amounts of enemies you guys fought. So, there you go. I believe that is level 6.
It is.
It is.
It is.
It's level 6, and we're like halfway to level 7 now after that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this one was huge. This one was huge.
I mean, it happened in the Flam campaign as well. It's just how these levels are spaced out.
Yeah.
And just because the things you guys have to fight are so much harder now, the story achievements are way bigger. Because it used to be you guys stop the ritual, get 100. You guys stop the ritual, get 1,000. The levels jump up because you guys fight. Things are worth way more experience points. The things you guys are doing are way larger in scale. You get so much more. So once you kind of bust past level 5, it's pretty quick with the levels from now on.
No, we bussin'.
Be bussin'.
So, since we got a level before we continue on, we'll start from the bottom with the monk with the backstory. Rornak, roll me that hit die. Or take the average, of course.
It's a D8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for it. Let's try and roll it. Why not, right?
Yep.
Where is my D8? I literally just had it. There it is. And it paid off for me. I rolled a 7, so that's 9 hit points there.
Nice.
Beautiful. Love to see it.
All right. Throat Goat himself. What you got?
All right, rolling this D10. Come on, baby. Oh yeah! I rolled a 9, so that's gonna be a 13.
Hot rolls. Hot rolls.
Oh, I'm at 68. God damn it!
A chonky boy.
You were so close, dude.
So
close to
We were
greatness.
so close to perfection, Don.
No.
All right. Sneaky sis.
She's gonna take another level in fighter so that she can get her ability score improvement.
Nice. 4 levels of fighter for the API.
Yes.
And that
she's
D10.
gonna be increasing dexterity. D10, I'm gonna take the average.
That's, I believe, D10 is 6?
I believe so. Yeah, 6. And then my con mod is 2, so
For 8. Not bad.
Yep.
And that brings your dex score to a grand total of
18.
18. Your AC increases by +1.
Yeah.
Most excellent. And then Fredward Poopy Pants.
So, I didn't get too much from going to 6. I'm gonna take average on my hit dice, just because we all know my RNG.
Taking the 5 plus 2 for 7, I believe.
At level 6, I pick up a counter charm, which lets me use my action to start a performance. I think I can just keep playing. And as long as I'm playing, any friendly creatures within 30 feet have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Oh, so protecting against wisdom saving throws for you guys.
Yay.
Hmm.
Specifically, fears and charms.
Important to know.
Yeah.
Nice. And
But the more important part of this level 6 for me is I get this little thing called animating performance, which I don't know how many of us have ever looked deep into this bard subclass before. I'm guessing
I have.
not too deep, but this is a pretty fun thing. As an action, you can animate one large or smaller non-magical item within 30 feet of you that isn't being worn or carried. The animate item uses the dancing item stat block, which I have here, which uses your proficiency bonus. The item is friendly to you and your companions and obeys your commands. It lasts for 1 hour or until it's reduced to 0 hit points or until you die. Next combat item shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use its own reactions, but the only action it takes during its turn. Oh, wait.
Holding on.
It can move and use its reactions on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus. There it is. Unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take another action. The action can be one in its stat block or some other action. If you are incapacitated, the item can take any action of its choice, just not just dodge. So if I'm incapacitated, I don't need to use my bonus action to make it do something
It
different.
just does the thing.
Yep.
It's got Aquila
When-
rules.
Yeah.
When I use my Bardic Inspiration feature, you can command the item as part of the same bonus action used for Bardic Inspiration. So
Oh.
I can use my Bardic Inspiration and command it with the same bonus action.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that way I don't have to be like, oh, which one do I want to do with my bonus? Once you animate an item with this feature, you cannot do so until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of 3rd level or higher to use this feature again.
Also good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
We'll go back down. Rornak, level 6. What does that bring onto the table? Since we know the ABI and the 6 from the Bard, what does level 6 Monk do? I believe that makes your unarmed strikes magical?
Yeah, so I have key empowered strikes. So, unarmed strikes basically count as magical attacks. So they overcome resistance and immunity to non-magical damage.
Nice.
Which is a huge one, obviously. Now I do have Earzarn, but it is great because that does help, especially with the unarmed strikes I use on like bonus attacks and stuff. So that's awesome just to keep that. I do get my my monastic tradition one, which is really good for Way of Mercy. So now whenever I use Hands of Healing, I can end I can also, along with healing, I can go ahead and remove either blind, deaf, paralysis, poison, or stun from that creature. And when I use Hand of Harm, I can now poison somebody as well. Yeah, I can subject them to be poisoned until the end of their next turn. And then last but not least, we get 5 extra movement speed.
Nice.
So that's
So
now at
you're
a plus
even
50.
faster.
Yes, so it's now at a plus 15 when I'm unarmored, so that puts me at 45 feet total when I'm not exhausted and can move my full speed.
So, lootly. And then for you, Jove.
Not a huge one for me. I also get an extra 5 feet of movement speed after spending all this time with you fast fuckers. He's gotten his
A
stride a little
regular
bit longer.
speeded halfling. Wow. Especially after
Yeah.
watching Lady Taste just make you eat shit.
The other cool thing is I now have a climbing and swimming speed equal to my movement speed.
Ooh, Jove, you really have gotten way more buff.
Yeah.
All it takes is scaling a mountain to lock that all in for you.
Damn right.
There's actually one more thing from my level.
Uh-huh.
I think it's especially appropriate because she had the realization lately that her style now is not what she trained with. She is trading her fighting style for the like ranged attacks for the protection fighting style, so she can impose disadvantage on attacks on people next to her.
All right, excellent. So switching out the throwing style for that fighting style for protection.
Ooh, and one other thing, my favored foe that I get proficiency bonus uses of gets bumped up to a D6 instead of a D4.
Nice, nice. And Freddy, I know with level 6, I believe you get another spell slot for 3rd level. I think you are, what, 432? Or 433?
That's for some reason it doesn't like highlight that in D&D Beyond that I have extra spell slots, but I almost definitely
I'm
get spell
I'm
slots.
like 90% positive. I think you get another 3rd level slot.
It'd be really weird for me not
Yeah,
to.
D&D Beyond is really bad with.
And then, since it is your level, Freddy, you may, of course, switch out spells. I know it's kind of on the fly right now.
Well, I told you about that one that I specifically wanted to pick up.
Yes, now is a perfect time.
Yeah.
So, of course, you get to add new spells because you know more spells, and if you would like to trade them out while we're doing this, I'm not expecting you to be like, I'm doing this right now, but if you're like, hey, I'm going to switch that out, feel free. You are in that perfect wiggle room time right now. With all of that, that's our levels. So, well, let's take a quick 5-minute break here now that we've got that done. Use the bathroom, everything like that, and we'll get to the last chunk of tonight's game. I'm going to leave the music and the sound on. So, be back in just a little bit. Double DM checking in.
So Rory, how about that backstory, huh?
Yeah, hey Rornak, look at that complete backstory finally.
You know, it's finally all come together here.
I told you I had big plans for you.
I'm like, as both Ryan and Rory like coming to terms and figuring out how I feel on all of it. It's wild, you know.
Never thought you'd get to get asked, are you happy with your life choices?
Yeah, that kind of hit me there. I was like, damn, is Rory happy with everything? I feel genuinely like Rory was, and now a lot of wrenches are being thrown here, you know? And then you're told in more or less terms, you might die in 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
plan basically I wouldn't plan past that point is what he was told, you know?
You know,
And
it's
like,
something that you need to be aware of because it's a very real possibility, considering they've had 1,000 years to see that the physical lifespan of these Rornaks is only 10 years. However, he doesn't know for sure. You may have only 4 years, you might have more. You are the first and last of Rornak in this form.
yeah, like part of me was like Rornak should be a little more like, you know, like engaging and like, you know, like comforting here, but also I'm just like this is a lot of shock though too. Like,
Oh God,
damn.
yeah.
And just kind of like overall feelings of like, okay, so when do I get to be Rornak? Am I Rornak now? Rornak feels more like it's just a title that's been given these puppets
Is
over and over
is
again, you know?
Rornak in the room with us right now?
Yeah, right. I'm Rornak, you're Rornak.
He,
Any
she,
other Rornaks
me,
around?
Rornak.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Rornak an instrument?
Yeah,
Plus one.
there's you you look at one of the tombs and there's just a Rornak that's just like stretched out a little like a guitar neck. You can't tell, but
It's like those African tribes, they do the neck extensions, except way longer than it has any natural proportion to be. All neck. Uncle got really into necks.
I hate thinking of Vonko as a canonical neck guy.
Well,
I have no strong feeling on that other than pass, please.
well, it is your past.
You have no power here.
Be gone.
Well, I believe everybody has returned.
Can I ask a quick question of you, Dom,
Yeah.
before we get going?
Absolutely.
So for my ring of Dryad, that recharges at dawn, right?
Indeed.
Okay, cool. I just want to
Yep.
double check.
Recharges every dawn. Oh, if everyone is back, I'm gonna switch this back over because there's something I'd like to implement to our game. Freddy / Mikey, are you returned? Excellent. I see that you took the thing off, so that'll tell me everything I need to know. Alright. So, as we enter into a much deadlier part of our campaign, even though it's already been plenty parts deadly, there is a death saving throw adjustment I would like to make. If on your first roll, you roll a natural 20, you return back to 1 health and you are conscious. Now, for nat 20s further down your death saving throws will simply give you the immediately to stable, but if you're knocked down, you immediately go to unconscious, you roll me a nat 20, you're back up. I saw it being used in one of the games I like to watch, and I think that is a super fun, phenomenal rule. So I'm implementing it. I hope you guys don't mind.
No,
Sounds cool.
sounds great.
I had a sneaking suspicion you guys would be in favor of such a rule.
It's literally no downside for us, obviously. And it would
Absolutely.
be cool if anyone manages to pull it off. So like, yeah, I say let's go for it.
Yep, unless you guys are super vocally against it because it's our game. But if you guys are cool with that ruling, I'd like to implement it moving forward. And thus, it was made canon. Okay, we return back. Everybody removes 1 level of exhaustion from themselves. I believe Ronak, you still have... Yes.
Trade
3.
cantrips.
I have 3 now.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was just spells or cantrips too.
That is an optional ruling. I think that is a-okay at the level to switch out your cantrips.
Okay.
Yes. I say it's okay. That makes it okay.
Am I still poisoned?
How long did this one last? Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Could someone else roll that for me? I'm sorry.
I will roll it for you.
Thank
I will
you.
use... Do you have a preference in die? You can do the yellow player helper, the amethyst, the hard to read die, who is in my favor, Flavonius, the campaign die, or the player killer.
Amethyst.
Amethyst it is.
An amethyst for Jasper.
What's your Constitution modifier? +2?
Yes.
+2. 14. Oh, wait, no, that's actually +2. It's a 15. It's just what you needed.
Just what I needed.
Rornak, I believe. You know what? Here's how we'll return back to this with you, Rornak. You all have a night of sleep. Some harder than others. Freddy, your dreams go back to their usual structure. No longer is it the cold, frigid first person and the voice of Maval in your head. It's your whatever Freddy dreams about usually. Jasper and Jove, very much the same. However, you, Rornak, your dreams feel more like a memory. It's you and the Grandmaster. You're in a circular room. You can see that around your waist is large chain tied all the way around you, allowing you to move through the room, but only going so far. A Grandmaster approaches you, bows, and begins taking a fighting stance. You feel your body immediately tense and move into form as you begin to exchange blows with the Grandmaster. As the fight picks up pace, you pull from within you this almost alien energy as you strike at the Grandmaster, and you can see almost like poisonous wounds appearing on him. And as he returns these blows back, you feel him shift that energy from his body back into yours. It's almost like this form of Tai Chi, where you both are never leaving contact with one another, and you can feel this energy, this changing from poisonous, necrotic energy to this almost merciful, life-giving energy back and forth between you, spinning around and round, going on for hours as you exchange blows, until finally the Grandmaster pulls away, exhausted, sweat pouring down his forehead, but you, still strong. He bows to you once more. And you, as the Grandmaster leaves, you feel that kind of poisonous energy still within inside you, and you expel it. You feel yourself almost jam fingers into vital points in the body, and there's a expulsion of poison from your gut. A vomit, if you will. And when you wake, you immediately, almost like muscle memory, and you expel this poison from your body. as the rest of you all awaken to Rornak. And it's this dark blue and green kind of liquid that you expel from your body.
Or neck. That's classic.
However, we all have to pause because Freddy is not in here right now.
Oh, oops.
Internet issues.
Indubitably. We'll wait for a moment.
Well, I have to give you a round of applause for wrapping the vomit comment into Rory's
Yeah.
whole ish.
Yeah, a core memory is Rornak puking. I love it.
A core memory of learning the next step in your way of mercy is indeed being able to expunge poisons and the like from people,
Including me.
including yourself. So
Also,
with that sweet level 6 being able to do it and neutralize poisons, you have now remembered how to do such a move.
Yeah, talk about a power boost, Rornak. Holy shit. You got a laundry list of new shit at level 6.
Level 6 is a pretty good level for monks in general, and Way of Mercy, I think, is where your hand abilities really open up a whole lot. They both have awesome uses now. I love it.
I mean, just getting magical strikes alone is powerful.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, the fact that they put that and your monk tradition and some extra movement speed all in one level is like, there was no way I could not take the level 6.
Yeah,
you know,
honestly.
it's like too good.
That puts you at 45 movement then?
It does put me at
He's
45.
faster than Jasper. Well, not if she commits her whole
Not in a
turn
foot
to
race.
it. Right. She can dash
If-
faster. I don't know.
Jasper can consistently dash faster because you can use your bonus action to dash every single turn.
Man.
However, for a small period of time in like a marathon, like where Jasper can just keep hitting the gas over and over and over again, you'll overtake. You've got a much better distance run. But in a straight sprint, if Rornak uses Step of the Wind, and just like a pure 6-second burst, Rornak is faster.
Yeah.
Yep, because with his
impressive.
5 extra feet, use the action dash for 90, and then the bonus action for 135, while you, Jasper, would be 40, 80, 120. He'd be 15 feet in front of you at the end of that race. Mechanically
Sheesh.
speaking. Yeah, Rornak is fast when he wants to be. But
I'm
welcome back,
scared.
Freddy.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, you all awaken. What you missed, Freddy, was a small dream montage of Rornak fighting against the Grandmaster of Flowers and remembering his ability to expunge poisons from himself. And so we awake the following day to Rornak vomiting up the rest of that blueberry poisoned wine after striking himself. And in fact, we'll say, Jove, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Sure. Come on. 17.
17. With your passive perception, you hear the sound of Rornak beginning to vomit comet out this poison, and you are able to. You don't roll out of the way; you roll underneath the bed to get away from it. And towards kind of the doorway, there's a splashing. As you all wake up that following day, 1 level of exhaustion removed. Rornak still feeling pretty rough. Jasper, a hangover of a different kind, with Freddy and Joe waking up feeling probably more refreshed than most.
Ugh. Well, glad you're feeling better, Rornak, or you just painted the ground blue, because that shit's nasty.
I get it now, Jove. Jove, it's poison. The problem has always been poison. Oh my god, it makes so much sense now. As he just kind of falls back onto the bed. Uh, to answer your question, I can move. Still not. Yeah, I still don't feel great. But I'm alive, and that's what matters.
Damn right.
How about yourself? What shape are you in?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty fucking great. I feel, I don't know, virile. Maybe that's a strong word. Feel, I don't know, feel fresh, you know?
Spry?
Spry, yeah. Like I don't know. Had something in me I got out, I guess. Well, you will know, considering you got it all over for all of us to see.
And as Jove is like getting up from underneath the bed, and you get that halfling half blouse and a full quarter bounce in cheeks of his, you also notice that the mark on Joe's back that goes across the shoulder now also begins to follow along his spine.
Yeah, that mark on your back is looking pretty intricate these days now too, friend.
Hey, man, Lady Tace is a wonderful lady,
Oh
and
God,
we
no,
had,
no, I
it was consensual, and we had a wonderful night, Ronak. And I don't want to have to hide it from you. You're my friend, and sorry if that makes you feel awkward, but yeah, she left a couple of marks on my back.
Miss Masato, our teacher.
That's literally though, like
+1 to the DM.
Yeah.
yeah, well, besides knowing you and Lady Taste like that now, I'm talking about your other friend, the other friend, I should say. Akila. How's she doing then?
Oh, right. And Joe was gonna kind of do that thing where he's like trying to look at something on his back. Uh, well, to be frank, she was kind of quiet last night at the very least, but
Yeah, I imagine she
she.
didn't want to watch.
Well, you never know. I guess I'll have to ask her about that. But most important part thing is that, well, like I was saying yesterday in the rubble of the tower, we're connected, and I think I don't know. There's a certain primal understanding that wasn't quite there yet, and it was on me, but it was on her a little bit too. So I feel like we had a good conversation that couldn't be had with words.
And this is about Akila, not Lady Taste, right?
Yeah, that is correct. But Warnack, all levity aside, I know this must be hard for you coming back to a place that was safe and home for you, and to see your grandmaster like that. I know what it's like to see the people that you love in pain and not being able to do anything about it. It's not an easy thing. So, whatever I can do to help bear that weight, you just let me know, friend.
Well, I appreciate that, Jove. And that kind of help is exactly the reason why I'm up here and not down in the crypts right now. Oh, goodness. You know, it's funny that you mentioned this being home and all. Turns out this was home, in a way, to a whole lot of Rornaks, although they didn't have it quite so nice.
Oh, you got like brothers? You have
S-
family?
uh, Sort of like that. You remember Von Quo and all of that, right?
How would I
Those
forget?
those clay sort of soldiers. Well, I guess good as time as any. When I was with the Grandmaster the other day before everything went to shit, he showed me a crypt filled with Lord knows how many Rornaks from over the years, changing over time, but apparently I made a visit here every decade. And up until recently, the Grandmaster had killed every single one. Well, Grandmaster at the time, not Periwinkle every single. You know what I mean. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a welcome home journey, to say the least.
Well, that's rough, buddy. But hey, at least you got the bastard, right? For you and all the other Rornaks.
Yes, well, with Vanquo gone, thanks to you all, I do pray that, honestly, I'm the last Rornak that ever walks through these halls ever again.
You
Though
know what?
again, go ahead.
I meant my previous statement. There are no other Rornaks. You're the only Rornak here. Only Rornak that's ever been. Because, whatever down there, or whatever trouble they caused at behest of that Vonquo, it's not. It's not you. It may look like you, may walk like you, may fight like a shittier version of you, but
I don't
Rornak,
know.
you're one of a kind. Don't you forget that.
Thank you, Jove. That does mean a lot coming from you. Although I don't know if I would actually say that they all were pushovers. I mean, some of the Rornaks, yes, but sounds like from what Periwinkle told me, it didn't always go super great for these Grandmasters. Hell, I think I just had a dream of the Grandmaster. I think I was chained up and he was sparring me. He made note of that too, that he learned my power from me. Whatever old Rornak came through here, I think he literally, used me to train.
I
It's
think we
all
need to have
just
a
a lot.
conversation about being chained up not being a very fair spar.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if that's,
Supposedly at that point I was a soulless killing machine, so I guess
I
I
guess
have
to
to be
make it
chained
fair
up.
for him,
I
chained up
mean,
to be a spar.
if it's not restricting your movement at all, I don't know. Maybe it is kind of fair. Like you can't run away, but you can fight.
I don't want to hear my sister talking about being chained up but not restricting movement.
Listen,
As you guys are having this conversation, there is a knock at the door.
Well,
Who is it?
Who do you think it fucking is? Open the damn door! She heard the voice of Lady Tace.
Jove, you want to get the door and put her in a brighter spirit for us?
Little bit of discretion,
not in front
my
of us.
friends.
I can hear you
appreciate it.
all!
perhaps you should dress down a bit so she recognizes you.
But...
Keep talking, I'll dress you down, Jasper. No.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I'll swing the door open.
What else
Is
you
this a
doing?
bad? Is this a bad time? Do you guys need to, hug some more?
We actually already got our hugging out for the morning, but we'll come back around dusk and get our second round in. But can we help you?
Yeah, came here to give you the update on the evening. Fire's contained. Grandmaster stable, still unconscious though. Your friend, Gavindel, I think? She's conscious.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You, heading out soon? What's your guys' game plan?
Joe's gonna look back to Rornak and say, "What do you say, Rornak? It's not gonna be easy going down, and I saw how you were walking yesterday, and I know you're almighty and all that, but I gotta say, at least from my own eyes, you don't look really fit for travel yet."
Can we put him in a sled or something, and the three of us can pull him?
Oh, you were serious. I mean, yeah, we did have to do some climbing and all that. And
Oh
honestly,
yeah.
and Yavendel, even if she is conscious, she isn't going to be in walking condition either. So,
Well, if we can't go anywhere today, we still got to find a way to put today's to some use. I mean, we know that this place isn't safe, and we know where where the cult, where people from the cult have gone. If we stay, I say we got to make use of every resource here to get ready and plan for our next move. Yeah, worst case scenario, I could try to make myself go today, but I will slow us down. We'd have to go pretty slow compared to how we had been even up to this point.
I mean, if you just keep resting all day, if we leave like midday tomorrow, you should be good, right?
I could probably at least just move around. I mean, I'm not in the best, not the best I've ever felt, but at least one more day I should have my legs underneath me like I used to.
let us not forget we have vulnerable people at that Fallen Stone mine waiting for our help as well. So,
They
I think
they
we
had
got
a
that
good
taken
they had
care
a
of.
good chunk of food, yeah. So they were fine.
Yeah, no offense, but there's 4 of you. I don't know how you're gonna help a whole mine of people, even with the weather. You leave them to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, so I was under the impression that Grandmaster was going to send a group, so we will just leave that to the monastery, and then we can start making our plan for our move here with this cult.
sounds good to me.
Is this bad time to bring up that I need to be in Master.
For what?
I kind of have a double life if this is new information, which I know it's not. Um, if I'm gone too long, they're gonna find out and they're gonna do horrible things to my compatriot. So I don't, not to put a damper on things. I'm not telling y'all need to go back with me. But if we're planning a whole other damn thing, unless it's like back in the direction of Mole Master, I might have to go.
How are you gonna get back on your own?
I mean, you've done it, and when you were kind of a wimp, no offense, but you've grown a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Wimp
I could go with
compared
you,
to
Jasper.
now was better at
Saw
Being
handling.
both of you, both of you city slickers, shivering in your boots the entire way up here. Fact,
it's fair.
and let's not forget that we lost Freddy at one point. this is tough going for me, and this is something that I at least have a little bit experience with. Luckily, we've dispersed that wind, so hopefully it's a little bit better of a way down the mountain, which typically is faster than the way up.
But if anything happens to you out there, it's just you. Going off completely on your own. While I did it, I wouldn't recommend it to someone who isn't used to being out here. No
Maybe
offense.
I did find something. Uh, Freddy, you can magically tell what things are, right?
Yes.
She pulls out the serpentine owl she pulled from like the art vault. Does this do anything magic? I got weird vibes from it.
Yeah, this is a. And then he pauses for 10 minutes.
So,
He does this, Lady Taste.
yeah, so I heard something about Mole Master. Which direction you guys heading?
Mole Master
what?
way.
Yeah, there's about 3 different ways you can get to Mole Master. Fucking cute. Which way are you going? Are you heading through Tomrav? Are you gonna go back through the glacier? You gonna take the long way around and head back down through Ravensburg? Which way you heading?
The fastest way.
Well, unless you happen to have a teleportation circle, that's gonna be a little bit difficult. Luckily, I got a good feeling about you all. Ronak, you know the town of Sudrav?
Is Rornak familiar with that?
Yes. There is the way that most people would come up to the monastery, who aren't heading directly from Mole Master, would be to go to Sudrav by Lake Icemelt. It's south from Tomrav. Sorry, I've been calling it Tormov. It's Tomrav. And it is a kind of like a farming community over there. It is the largest establishment besides Tomrav and this kind of neck of the woods. So yes, you are aware of Sudrav. Ladies and
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
We have a monk
Perhaps-
over there, Sister Chorn. And she kind of closes the door behind her. Normally, we wouldn't talk about this. However, there are cases where speed is needed. If you go to Sister Chorn and tell her that the yellow rose melts in the summertime, she'll help you out. Can get you to Mole Master much faster. I'm not going to tell you anything else from that one because that's on her to how she wants to run that whole thing, but if you can get to Sister Chorn, you could get to Mole Master probably much faster. God, she's not from Mole Master. That's your guys' accent. It's bleeding through. It's like a black hole. Freddy, you finish this ritual, and what you have, Jasper, is a figurine of wondrous power. A figurine of wondrous power is statuette of a beast small enough to fit in a pocket. If you use an action to speak the command word and throw the figurine to a point on the ground within 60 feet of you, the figurine becomes a living creature. If the space where the creature would appear is occupied by another creature or objects, or if there isn't enough space for the creature, the figurine doesn't become a creature. This creature is friendly to you and your companions. It understands your languages and obeys your spoken command. If you issue no commands, the creature defends itself but takes no other actions. The creature exists for a specific duration. At the end of this duration, the creature reverts back to a figurine form. It reverts to a figurine early if it drops to 0 hit points, or if you use an action to speak the command word again while touching it. When the creature becomes a figurine again, its properties can't be used until a certain amount of time has passed. Yours is the Serpentine Owl. This becomes a giant owl for up to 8 hours. Once it has been used, it can't be used again until 2 days have passed. The owl can telepathically communicate with you at any range if you and it are on the same plane of existence.
I mean, so, like, if I had to, I could, like, fly 8 hours straight towards the Sister you know. Unless y'all want to go with me back to Mole Master. But it seems like y'all have stuff you want to do. And I want to go with you, honestly. I hate that I even suggesting that I go back, but I don't. If Kirk gets killed because of me, or worse, it'll likely be much worse than death.
Wait, Eric is helping you?
Yeah.
Grub.
What? Beg your pardon.
He's a scrub. He's a goose.
She punches him.
So I had to roll me an unarmed attack.
With strength, right?
Yeah.
That's 12 to hit.
Does a 12 hit you, Freddy?
No.
Yeah, Freddy moves out of the way. Sees it coming from a mile away.
I hate you. So, yeah, it's up to y'all.
I have to talk to Yavendale before I make any decisions like that.
Well, no pressure either way.
So, what's your guys' move?
I would want to go to the Medica to check in on Yavendale
Okay.
as the day is kind of getting started.
Yeah. Does anybody want to join Jove?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything going on. Although it seems like a private thing, they're part of an organization. I'll stay out of it.
Gotcha. All right. We'll jump over. We'll do Yavendale's thing first, then we'll come back to this one. Jove, Lady Tace takes you back to the Medica, helps guide you there. Once you get to the Medica, she does say, if you end up staying another day, you know where to find me. Gives you a quick kiss on the cheek, spank on the butt, a little harder than friendly.
Yeah, he's smiling ear to ear, but he doesn't say anything. Gives her a quick wink, before approaching Yavendale.
And then as she leaves, just, especially since I had the rest of your gear. She kind of smiles to herself as she leaves. You enter in. You can see Mother Savan and Grandmaster Periwinkle are. For Grandmaster Periwinkle, they've taken like 3 beds and shoved them together, and then laid him like horizontal across it. His kind of stomach bandaged up. Kind of a wet cloth over the top of the head. Mother Savan bandaged from the eyes on up. And there, Yavendale is kind of sitting upright, both small hands around what looks like to be a brew of some sort. Jove!
Well, hey there, Yavendale. Looking mighty fine as ever.
You're a bad liar. I look like shit.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna have you say it instead of me.
Well, I said it. I look like shit. I feel like shit. This tastes like shit.
Hey, it's less better than death, though, right?
You're right there. It's better than what it was. Certainly a whole lot less cold.
Yeah. So, jokes aside there, Yavendale, I saw what they were doing to you up there, and, God,
Yeah, it's a whole lot like being a caged animal. The irony is not lost on me.
Well, we didn't get every last one of them, but I ran a few through on my spear, and a couple of them got a few javelins in the back before the whole thing tumbled down. So hopefully, there's a little consolation in that.
A gnome-sized consolation, we'll say. Jove, if they're still out there, you gotta finish it.
No, we think we have a bead on where there might be. As I'm sure you've heard from the scuttlebutt around here today, there was a treachery in the night. Seems like the cultists that had wormed their way in here knew that the jig was up and headed back to I don't know, some nearby town. I'm with you. We can't let evil stay, or else it'll just grow and fester, and before we know it, there'll be another tower, and somebody else will be up in that cage.
Jove, I don't know what exactly it is they are doing to me, but I'm really thankful for what you did, but we need help. This is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I need you to go back to Mole Master once you're finished with the rest of this in that small town you're talking about. I need you to get Siren. I need her and her companions to come up here. I think we might have stopped what was started here, but Jove, I'm sure you can feel it. There's something else here. That power that they're pulling on, it's not just them, it's all around here. And I'm afraid once you and your companions leave, it'll only be a matter of time before they come back, and I need you back down in Mole Master. But I think it's only a matter of time before something else comes up here. Our numbers are stretched thin, and if you're heading back down, I'm in no condition to go anywhere. I don't even think I can hold my form together much better than this. I'm stuck. Can you do that, Jove?
Yeah, Yavendale, I can do that. I think you're right. I can see the pieces on the board here, but something's obstructing the view. Just doesn't all add up.
No, it doesn't. This up here, the fires in the Zent ghettos and in Elmswood, whatever was going on at Fort Dalton, it's all just getting closer and closer, Jove.
All seems to be converging.
Yeah. And we can't do anything about it all the way up here. You need to get back to Mole Master.
You're right, Yavendale. I know that some of my companions are itching to get down that way anyway, so. We're in Act 2, even though he's beat to shit. Won't let anybody know, even though we can all see it.
I wish I could just transport you all into little birds and you could fly all the way back, but it's kind of outside my power level right now. Heck, I don't even think I could walk over to the other side of this room. I hate being
No
so
reason.
weak.
There's no weakness in recovery, especially after going through what you went through. Temporary state is all. Now I gotta ask, do you remember what happened? I met Marika, and she told me that she had spent some time with you, and when you were, well, it seems that you just kind of disappeared into the glacier.
They caught me in the air, Jove. They summoned some sort of elemental. And as I was flying up, leaving Marika behind, it's like the winds themselves took hold. I didn't have the strength in my form. I couldn't risk changing back into this form so high up. Once I was in their air, it was over. Put me inside that cage. They're using me like a battery. I know some druids can change into the elements. I certainly can't. And the ones that can certainly don't turn into lightning. It was unnatural. And I don't think I would have lasted much longer had you guys not gotten there. I
Well,
saw
we have.
what Aquila did.
Hmm.
Jove, are you okay?
You know, believe it or not, think Aquila and me, we understand each other better than we have ever before. Granted, it still a strange relationship, but let's just say she didn't have the best reaction to seeing Marika being a giant and all that. But I think she saw. Now I know she saw what happened to Flan, and that giants, dragons, well, they can be good, they can be bad, they can be in between. It's all about the actions the person takes when they have the power to make those decisions. There's something in me, something that I felt too when you saw what Aquila had, the power that she'd gathered within herself. I could feel it just for a second. The desire to turn toward giant territory and do what she had done in Days of Thunder. She chose not to. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I understand where this is going to go, what's going to happen to me or Aquila, but we're growing and still feel like Jove, and I feel like Aquila and I are, well, our bond wasn't already special. Certainly is now.
I trust you, Jove. But Aquila scares me. but not much I could do about it right now.
Nope, I don't think there's much that any of us can do. I will say, just in case, well, I'm not just spouting words that our bond is stronger. He's gonna turn around and show the spot on his back where Aquila resides. It's grown. Uh, she can take more forms than she used to. And, like you said, there's not much to be done about it now, but I know what I can do. And that's going and getting Siren. And that's making sure we finish this fight strong. And I expect, after a couple of days of lying in bed and drinking blueberry wine, they'll be out there with me. Part of the Enclave. Can I count on that, Yavendale?
Absolutely, Jove. In fact, if you take too long dealing with whatever's going on with the rest of that cult, I'll beat you back to Mole Master.
Oh, it's a race then.
You better not lose. If I get to Siren before you do, I'm taking that ring from you.
Yeah. I'll just kind of wave her off and give her a smile
And you can
let her
see,
rest.
yeah, the heaviness sets back into her, and she gives kind of a half smile. You see she's about to begin to spill that drink into her lap as sleep claims her once more.
Yeah, he'll intervene and catch it and put it on the side table so she doesn't wet herself.
And you return back to the party. While Jove is having this conversation, what would the rest of you like to be doing? Or would you like to wait for Jove to return?
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll probably just wait.
Yeah.
You return back to your party, Jove.
Well, folks, good news. Yavendel is she's gonna make it. She looks like shit, but she's full of sass as ever. So, but
Well,
she
that's good
gave,
to hear.
yeah. You haven't heard how sassy she gets, so maybe she's been giving her too much of that medicine. But regardless, she told me something that I already knew, and that's that this isn't finished. Quite literally, we saw somebody fly away, but just in general, even Yavendel, and she's strong. You've all seen her. She says that this is really bigger than us, and that we need some help. She told me that I do need to go back to Mole Master, find Siren, and get the lost and found up here, and really root out whatever's here, because a sickness still lies upon this monastery, and she put it best saying that we could leave here, and frankly, that disease will metastasize, and whatever they were trying to do, those cultists will be back here trying it again. So,
So back to Mole Master then.
yeah.
I meet this Siren. That's a weird name. That's stupid.
It's a little silly, but believe me, she's powerful. Don't let her hear you saying that. She'll smack you 6 ways to Sunday. So that said, Yavendel, thinks, and frankly, I think too, that we should, on our way down, hit that settlement Rornack that you were talking about, and see if we can at least root out a little bit of what we have. And if we truly do have a quicker way down the mountain, thanks to Lady Tace, the detour won't take too much time. We all know that you have commitments, Jasper.
I appreciate it.
Feel like our odd jobs, well, we do it best when we're united. And it'll be just a quick adventure,
Yeah.
20
right.
minutes in and out.
Yeah, 20 minutes like they always are, right? Super fast.
Just a quick visit, ask some questions, right?
Well, that's my piece. Ronak, I know you're still feeling worse for wear, so I think we're moving at your speed.
I mean, we could take off now. The reality is, it's gonna take a bit of rest before I can be up to max speed. Probably take even longer for me to be in my best fighting form, but I can take on. Yeah, it's just more suffering to take on, really, at that point.
Y'all not have mules out here or some shit?
Yeah, Ronak, I hate to put it like this, but are you going to be a drag on the rest of us in your current condition?
Cause we'll fucking leave you. I don't give a shit.
Damn. Do they have stables here? That's a good question. I don't know if I have that in my notes.
They do have a place to store such mounts and such. They're not very common this far up. But they would have definitely would have like a mule you could probably ride down.
Well, they're not easy to come by. It's not easy really taking care of many things this high up, honestly. But we could see if they can spare something for me to ride down.
To try.
Drive the mule. Yep.
It's got 1 horsepower right here, so.
Literal. Not even a horse. 1 mule power.
Half a horsepower.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's half horsepower.
Yeah.
Well, while we're getting our stuff situated, then, hey Freddie, can I have you look something over? I picked it up off a dude yesterday, and let's just say it didn't exactly do what I thought it was gonna do. So figured let you use your book smarts on it.
Yeah, sure. This is
They'll take off
is-
the balloon pack.
Yes, Freddie, with your little bit of identify, a little bit of your book smarts, and a whole lot of intuition. It is a balloon pack. It
balloon pack.
is magical, as in it has a small air elemental sealed inside, which is what inflates the balloons. It works like the feather fall spell. When you are falling, you may use your reaction if you have the balloon pack to cast feather fall, and it will act like a parachute. However, if you use an action while using it, it works as the levitate spell for 1 hour. It has 1 charge that may be used for either levitate or for feather fall. That resets at the start of a new day.
And this is like a total side case, but if there was a reason that, somebody was incapacitated, would I be able to like put the pack on them and then like pull the ripcord to have them levitate?
I would say, yeah, you would be able to do such a thing. To use an action on them. I would say if you wanted to use an action to put it on them and you use your own reaction you could pull the cord for them. That's how I'd rule that one. It doesn't require attunement or anything. You just have to have it on your person.
Sweet. Thanks, Freddy. It's always nice getting a few nuggets of information from you.
So, I believe with that, you guys begin preparing to head back down the mountain towards the settlement of Tamrav, following the path of solitude, which leads from the monastery down towards the roads leading to Tamrav. Does anybody have anything they need to accomplish at the monastery before you guys begin heading out? Rornak, you would receive a mule whose name is Shart.
Shart?
S-H-A-R-T. Shart.
Wow.
Great.
He's referred to as a shithead with heart.
Mystical mount.
Shart.
Good old Shart.
He's gray, probably middle to late age for a mule. Sturdy-footed. You can see there looks to appear to be like a chunk of ear missing on one side. Like something has bitten it off. And the personality is exactly as you would expect. You have to kind of...
Basically, if that gatekeeper was a mule.
I don't know that it isn't, possibly. You know?
Right. Did he get polymorphed? And he's actually...
the
living
corpse is
out the
actually a
rest of
fake
his
corpse. He's
Right.
been
Yep.
transferred into Shart, the mule.
The incarnation spell gone wrong.
Cantankerous as always.
We're gone very correct.
Man, what a weird dog. Jeez.
Jove, I believe you need to collect the rest of your equipment from Lady Tase's.
Yes. She's gonna go do that.
Absolutely. You start gathering up your things. It's not long till Lady Tase stops you. And one more for the road.
Well, I could always limber up before a long journey.
Heard. We'll add an extra half hour onto the preparations for this.
Heard.
And then post-coitus, he's gonna light up his halfling pipe in the bed and kind of pass it back and forth and say, Lady Tace, I'm not sure how much you get out of this whole bunch of bricks, but if you ever find yourself down in Mulemaster, I don't see why you'd want to, but there's a little gross joint called Oxpick Tavern that I spend what I might call my off days, and well, if you ever want to see what life outside here, or at least have a good night on the town of Mulemaster, come down. It'll be fun.
I left that light behind me, Jove. But I know for a fact you'll be back. Now get the fuck out of my house.
Roger that.
And with one last heavy take a point of bludgeoning damage, slap on the cheeks.
Yeah, feast your eyes. It's gonna be a long time before another full moon.
Oh, I think you'll have something to remember me by. And you can already feel the welting there. One solid dwarven handprint on the right cheek. Freddy and Jasper, anything you guys would like before you begin your journey down south?
Nah, I think actually. Is it too late to buy some of the blueberry wine?
They do not accept your money. Go ahead and add a jug of blueberry wine.
Yeah. This is why you ask.
Absolutely. The monks are more than happy to give you such a boon. Free of charge. And I think with that, we'll close out tonight's session. As with Rornak saddled to Shart, a jug of blueberry wine, the looseness of some post-coital activities, and Freddy, all prepare for your journey down south. Let's say goodnight to chat.
Good night, chat.
Good
Nighty
night,
night,
chat.
Good night, chat. Thank you so much for joining us for another adventure as we begin heading south towards the settlement of Tom Rav to flesh out the rest of the Cult of the Howling Hatred, at least down south from here, and begin our journey back to the City of Danger. Peace in the Middle East. Much love.